You are listening to In Conversation with Jennie and Mark.
Hello, everyone. I am the Reverend Jennie Adams from Holy Trinity Church, Prince Consort Road, South Kensington.
And I am the Reverend Mark Adams from St Margaret's Church, Barking. Though soon you're going to be the Reverend Jennie Adams from Holy Nativity, Eastfield, are you not?
Yes. But I'm still here. I'm still working.
But you're still here, still
here.
focused on Holy Trinity, South Kensington. I'm still focused on St Margaret's Church, Barking. And here we go. Well, preaching. Are you preaching this Sunday?
Yes.
So am I. So hopefully you're going to give me lots of pearls of wisdom that I can use.
I'm really not.
Is that going to happen? How are you feeling about
that? So we have Matthew 17, verses 1 to 9. It is the Transfiguration.
It is. Always happens, of course, on the final Sunday before Lent. This is what the lectionary always gives us. So it's one of those readings that you have to think about every year.
I know.
Well, I guess we get different accounts because we probably do it in the different Gospels depending on what year it is, don't we?
Yeah, I know,
anyway,
but still.
But still. Okay, well, maybe we'll come back to that in a minute. See what that's all
Shall
about.
I read it? I'll read it.
Go for it. We're stopping at verse 9 in the lectionary, aren't we? Although the paragraph goes on to 13.
6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and his brother John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became dazzling white. Suddenly there appeared to them Moses and Elijah talking with him. Then Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 dwellings here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, suddenly a bright cloud overshadowed them, and from the cloud a voice said, "This is my son, the beloved. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell to the ground and were overcome by fear. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Get up and do not be afraid." And when they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus himself alone. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus ordered them, "Tell no one about the vision until after the Son of Man has been raised from the dead."
Okay. Come on then, what's the about?
So my biggest thought is, so this weekend we did, we helped at a preaching day at Chelmsford, didn't we? And somebody asked us how we go about preaching for Christmas and Easter when it's the same thing every year.
They did.
And I hadn't got this in my mind, but this is exactly the sort of thing I was trying to say when I answered. It's like Christmas and Easter, I don't think you need to kind of reinvent the wheel. People want to hear the same thing. It's what they've come for. These stories that come around every year are far more difficult. I have run out of things to say about the Transfiguration. I've only got a certain amount of mountaintop of stories I can tell.
Well, that's fine. And I think I said people will have not remembered what you said last year anyway. So
that's true. I'll just re-preach it. No problem.
Well,
apart from I've had a look at what I said last year, and I can't.
Story, then? What is your mountaintop story?
Well, it depends where I've been. I mean,
oh, okay, you got a variety.
Oh no, I do literal mountaintop stories.
Yeah.
So last year we had been to Scarborough and walked the Cleveland Way.
Okay, right. It wasn't really a mountaintop, but it was quite impressive looking over the sea.
It'll do. It was high.
Although I did read in a commentary that actually this is reckoned to be in Mount Tabor in southern Galilee, which is not that high anyway. It's only a few hundred feet. It's just, the reference to a high mountain is more that it's close. It's kind of that barrier between earth and heaven. What other people might call it.
Oh, because they were always going up the mountain to talk to God and then coming back down again, weren't they?
Yeah.
There were only a certain amount of mountains. It must have been hills, yeah.
And of course, if you pair it with the Old Testament reading, of course, the Old Testament reading that's been chosen for today, that's the other thing I asked us about, wasn't it? What passage do we look at? Is, of course, Moses going up Mount Sinai to receive the law, and with his face shining and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, well, fair enough. Oh, that would be nice. Oh, you'll be able to connect the two. I don't have an Old Testament reading. It's prayer book, isn't it? I've just got the epistle.
Right. Yeah. So that's obviously clearly I think it's clear that there is well, the lectionary compiles obviously there is. I'm sure Matthew, in his mind when he wrote this as well, did. There's a link between, this transfiguration and what happened with Moses and the tablets of the law and that kind of stuff, and his face shining. So, what are you thinking is the message you want to bring out of this?
So I was looking, so they very much, it follows Caesarea Philippi, which is one of my favourites that comes around.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am? And so they are heading towards Jerusalem now. So I think my message is always the same, to be honest. It's like these mountaintop moments are absolutely amazing, but then they come back down the mountain and Jesus is still there. And faith is about walking the everyday. And I mean, they're heading towards trouble, to put it,
Yes.
put it smallly, but yes, but he will still be there and is still with us. And it's the day by day. We come to the mountaintop moments, I think is the thing.
I think the interesting thing is obviously this is not coming out directly out of the text itself, but the placement of the text. And why do we look at this on the Sunday before Lent every year? And I think I have preached before, and I don't know where I got it from. I probably didn't. I think I got it out of a commentary or a book somewhere. But that idea that this vision of who Jesus is, this revelation rather, is probably a better word of who Jesus is, because it's certainly recorded as something that they actually saw. It's not, this revelation of who Jesus is and his glory is kind of there to help us get through Lent. Because in many ways it reads more like a resurrection appearance, doesn't it? That you might see.
It's a great connecting story, hasn't it? Because it's got the same words as Jesus' baptism.
Yes.
And then, yes, it looks, as much as it can do, like resurrection. So it's almost like connecting the story all together.
Although, interestingly, as I was saying that, I'm actually thinking, although it feels like it could be a post-resurrection appearance, actually the post-reresurrection appearances don't have Jesus transfigured.
No, it was a bit boring, really.
They don't recognise him, don't they? I mean, it is more reminiscent, perhaps, of the Revelation, the vision that John has of Jesus in Revelation, isn't it? It does feel more reminiscent of that. So yeah, I think it's a sort of, but you're right, it links back to the baptism as well, doesn't it? It is the same words, although with the extra bit, I think the listen to him bit is not.
Listen to him.
Listen to him. So
that's
again,
exactly how God said it.
Listen to him, for goodness sake.
Listen to him.
Listen to him. Yeah. So yeah, what do you make? Yeah. So what do you think about the echoing of the words at the baptism? Then why is that significant for you?
I don't have anything straight away, but it feels significant. It feels like something I'm going to mull over. Why is it significant? I mean, I love it at the baptism because it kind of brings all three members of the Trinity together.
Yes.
We don't quite have that. But it does remind us who he is, that he was loved before he did anything.
Yes.
My beloved Son of God.
Yes. This is my son, the beloved, with him. Yes, and he's still pleased. Just pleased him at the start, and he's still pleased him now. I think it's interesting you linked it to the confession of faith at Caesarea Philippi, and also therefore Jesus's, passion prediction. This is what's going to happen. So maybe there's maybe it's a bit like a pit stop, which of course on the day that the Formula One testing is happening, is obviously a good metaphor for me.
It's a pit stop.
As we wait, eager anticipation for the new Formula One season. Well, I do, for the new Formula One season to start. Anyway, I'm definitely digressing now. But that idea of a kind of a break, a pit stop, anticipation of who Jesus is and God's call, or the Father's call.
It reminded me because it finishes with saying, "Don't tell anybody." And after that kind of amazing moment at Caesarea Philippi, I have to confess to everybody that I find that the most amazing moment, more than the Transfiguration and anything. I love that story. But
Yeah,
at the end of it, he tells them not to tell anyone. And I always think then you've had this great revelation, revelationary moment, and like you're not allowed to tell anyone. And now we've got the same. But of course, it's because they're on the way to Jerusalem.
yes, it's not the right time.
Let's not peak too soon.
It's not the right time. Yeah, I like the idea of linking it to the Caesarea Philippi thing because it's a kind of, is it like a vindication of that, or it's a re-emphasizing of that? Yeah, this is Peter, you're right, and Peter, you're going to see it. You've seen it. This is a revelation.
Yeah, and I
Jesus the
think,
Messiah.
well, it puts it into context of where they were going, where they were heading. They're no longer
Yes,
just wandering around.
yes,
They are
there's purpose.
heading back.
Yes,
This is it.
yeah, I kind of like the idea that this is a kind of,
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, I've used a revelation to keep them going and to keep us going through Lent, because we know where Lent's going. It's going to get dark, and then it's going to have a glorious ending on Easter Sunday. But we've got a long way to go before we get there, and we're going to take this. It's just that idea of journeying with Jesus, isn't he, through Lent and the things that brings to us and offers us.
So is it the snack on the way?
Yeah, it's a pretty hefty meal, I would have thought. But anyway, there you go.
Okay.
It's more than a snack.
You'll go for
What do we
Pitstop.
think of? What do we think of
Gloucester Road services? Not Gloucester Road. What's it called?
Gloucester services on the M5? Yeah, maybe. Never thought of a motorway service station as being a parable of the Transfiguration, but yeah, I guess if that works for
I
you,
have got the right one, haven't I? That one that's privately owned and really
yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's just a farm
Yeah.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gloucester service station.
So we don't go that way anymore. Although when we move to Scarborough and when we go down to Cornwall, we will be. So maybe we'll stop at it again. But oh my word, we've done Formula One, we've done motorway service stations.
I'm writing that down. I'm using that.
Yeah.
It's the Gloucester service station of the journey to Jerusalem.
Where you can get a hearty meal.
a free ad.
I think you can link that. I think we're definitely stretching the point here, but you've got to get back on the road again. And as you said at the beginning, you can't live on the mountaintop, which I think is an interesting point always for me. I have preached this before, and you say that doesn't matter, I guess, in one sense. But I see Peter's thing about let's build 3 booths. Let's stay here. This is great. Oh, I love it here. This is really good. We've got Moses and Elijah, of course, that we haven't mentioned as well in this story too, haven't we? But let's stay here with you guys. Let's hang out together. This is going to be brilliant. But actually, no, they have to go back down the mountain again, don't they? They have to get back on the road.
And it's a real truth of faith, isn't it? So you can have those moments where you feel so close to Jesus. It's like such an amazing time. But you can't live in that moment forever.
No.
We have to get up and we have to do what we do every day. And
Yes.
faith is just basically just showing up, doing it every day.
Yes. Anything, I mean, we're kind of coming to the end of our time, aren't we? But anything to say about Moses and Elijah?
Generally, I would have thought they've got better things to do, but
Well, then hang out with Jesus.
On a mountain.
Well, that seems pretty good to me. Wouldn't mind.
I suppose so.
On a mountain.
I always wonder what they popped up to say, really. It's a very strange image, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I've again always interpreted that as this is a sort of fulfillment of the law and the prophets, isn't it? Moses representing the law, Elijah representing the prophets.
Yes.
But that's probably a bit of a standard answer.
They had some gossip about someone else.
That's probably a bit of a standard answer for two standard answers for in conversation with Jennie and Mark. Jennie has to come up with some left field idea, which I think you just did, but that's a bit of gossip, you say.
Have you heard about David?
Never guess what happened yesterday in heaven.
Yes. We couldn't wait for you.
We were busy worshipping. And then this happened.
Have you seen that angel? Whereas, what was it you said that was probably perfectly right and reasonable?
I wonder to what extent does Jesus need it?
Ooh,
Is this a kind of, pit stop for Jesus? Keep going. It's
because
good.
he's fully human too.
How much does Jesus need to hear the words of affirmation from the Father? Yeah, you're doing well. I'm pleased with you. Keep going. Because he's the one who's like, yes, I don't know.
It
Interesting
is an
idea to come
interesting
in at the
idea.
end,
It
isn't
doesn't
it? If
explain
you,
why Moses and Elijah are there, but it is an interesting idea.
yeah, I think I might run with that. I think I might go with some of that. Jesus in his
Mm,
humanity needs
I'm too
encouragement.
scared of that. I might end up in some kind of heresy. So I'm not.
Well, I think if you haven't got some kind of heresy in a sermon, then you're not doing your job properly. But anyway.
Oh, oh.
I don't really mean that, but I do mean that it's good to make people think, and it's good for us to think it through from a different angle.
I might mention it in the way that we've just done as a question, but I'm not going to try and disentangle that because that could
Well, you
end up
can't
in a
really
mess.
disentangle it. But anyway, so there you go.
Mm.
So, final thoughts, Jenny, for the Transfiguration from today?
I am going to go with the Gloucester service station analogy.
You're going with Gloucester service station. I think I might do that as well. I might go with a bit of Formula One because that's obviously good.
Obviously.
Obviously. But I think I might go with a little bit of, I suppose you could say if you think Jesus, the affirmation is for Jesus as well as for the others who are listening, then if Jesus needs that, then we all do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to run with that pin. As I say, just not dig too deep.
Yeah. There you go. Well, thank you so much, Jenny, for giving me some thoughts for my sermon prep.
Thank you for those words of wisdom. Look at you.
Well done. So a bit of affirmation to finish with.
Well done us.
Well done us. Woo, woo, woo. And well done for you if you've managed to listen this far. So thank you so much. And we will be back next week with will we actually? We're away next week, aren't we? I think
we can fit it in.
We're going to do one next week. Yeah, we'll fit one in next week, but then we probably will not be there the week after because I'm going down to see.
All right. Thank you all.
We're going on a journey. We're going to stop at fleet services, I suspect. But anyway, there we go. Metaphor.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to In Conversation with Jennie and Mark. Please subscribe for more episodes on all the usual podcast platforms.